Hey everybody, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Navy Federal Auto Loan pre-approved process. Now, it's been 7 months since I got my car and did the financing through Navy Federal, but I still get questions about my experience. So in today's video, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to go over some of the recent questions that I've been getting on my Navy Federal Auto Loan experience. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Tasha with the Major Change Group, where we believe small changes can create big results. And if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. We talk about credit, budgeting, and student loans. Y'all, 7 months has went by so fast that I financed my car through Navy Federal, and it has been a great experience. So we're going to talk about some of those questions that I get on my video within the last, few weeks. But first, before we get into that, I just want to talk about, a little background about my relationship with Navy Federal. So first, I want to let you know that I joined Navy Federal, I want to say October or November of 2019. And y'all, for the first several months, I didn't even deposit any money in my checking or savings account. But a month after I had got and became a member, I had got the Navy Federal flagship credit card, y'all, and I wasn't even depositing any money in there. And y'all will have to check out some of my other videos, because my main account at that time was Bank of America. And y'all know, me and Bank of America, we parted ways recently, and probably within 2020, that's when I ended up moving my money to Navy Federal, and I was depositing more money into the account. So with Navy Federal, I have 2 credit cards, a car loan, checking accounts, and savings accounts. So that's what I have with Navy Federal. But in October of 2020, that's when I started the process in getting my Hyundai 2021 Tucson, and I started the pre-approved process. So I got the car for $20,000, but I got gap insurance added on to it, and the gap insurance was $299. So the loan was for $20,299, $20,299. And my interest rate was 2.19% at 60 months, and my car note is $357.95 every month. And you guys will have to check out some of my budgeting videos, and I have a video where I'm talking about me actually paying the car down within 30 months. But y'all got to check that out, and that's so cool. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the Navy Federal Auto Loan pre-approved process. So the first question that I want to talk about today is, and that I got, and I'm going to put the question right here, was, does Navy Federal take into consideration how long you have been a member when you start the pre-approved process? Now, like I said, I have been a member for over a year, but I do know some individuals that had only been a member for a day and have got approved for the car loan. But I will say that the process might be a little bit different, because you kind of think about it, where if you are a member like I have been for some time, you're going to be building that relationship. And so one of the questions that they typically ask when you are starting a pre-approved process is, what is your income and what is your housing status? So do you rent or own? Since I just verbally told them how much I bring in yearly, and they didn't ask for any additional verification for me. And so that's the second question that I get a lot of. Did I have to send in any verification of check stubs or anything like that? And for myself, I did not. But I do know a person that as soon as they became a member of Navy Federal, and then they went ahead and got the car loan. And so they did have to provide some additional information compared to me, because you have to think about it. Since you are actually getting a car loan through your, the credit union that you bill with, you already have that relationship. So if you're actually depositing money into the account every month, and then if you're like me, you have a credit card and a savings account, you are you have transactions that they can see. And then we know Navy Federal has an internal score. Now, y'all have to drop down in the comments and let me know if you are a member of Navy Federal. Do you know your internal score with Navy Federal? Because I have gotten a car loan, I have 2 credit cards, I have checking account, and I have a savings account. And when I actually got the car, they mailed me my credit score, but I didn't get my internal score. And I actually even called to ask them for the internal score, and they wouldn't give it to me. But I hear that people say that they have their internal score, but I've never gotten my internal score. And so with the internal score, I want to say, to me, that's what Navy Federal uses, because, you know, you've heard of people that get credit cards or car loans with a lower credit score, but with your internal score, it's really about that relationship. What kind of relationship? You know, are you depositing money into your account and things of that nature? So let me know in the comments if you know what your internal score is with Navy Federal. The next question that I get around the Navy Federal Auto Loan Pre-Approved process is, what is the lowest credit score that Navy Federal will approve for the auto loan? Now, for myself, I don't really have the answer, but I did Google it, and it didn't give like a specific, but it's saying, you know, you really want to have around a 700, but if you have about a 600, you know, that's where it can impact your actual interest rate. And I can say for myself, when I had applied for the auto loan in October of 2020, I thought my credit score was around a 700, but my credit score was actually a 681 because they pull your TransUnion score. And after I had applied and I had did all of the process, got the car, and then I checked the mail, and they had sent me my credit score in the mail. So that's how I knew that they had pulled my TransUnion score and that it was a 681. And I was so shocked because when I had actually applied, y'all, they had they said that they were going to put me in review. And because I had applied maybe like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and then I wasn't approved until like 9 or 10 a.m. the next day, but it still didn't tell me what my interest rate was going to be, because I figured I would get approved, but how much would my interest rate be? And so then I called, and she said that my interest rate was a 2.19. So since I had got my loan for 60 months, that was the lowest interest rate. So I was like, yay! So I was just like, well, my credit score had to be pretty good. And then I get it in the mail, and it said that it was a 681. And so I was just like, whoa, because you'll have to check out the video where I was talking about, you know, like how with a 681 credit score, how did I get a 2.19% interest rate? Now, if I would have went to the dealership and I would have got financed through the dealership, it is no way that I would have got the lowest interest rate. And so that's why I think that it's really, you really should get your car loan financed through a credit union more so than an actual, you know, either a bank or the actual dealership, because I'm pretty sure that my, well, I mean, I don't know for sure, but you know, when you Google online, you know, like under a 700, you might have a higher interest rate. So while I don't have the specifics of what's the lowest credit score, having a relationship, you know, building that relationship is with Navy Federal is probably going to be the most important thing, because, you know, with Navy Federal, I just don't know that all the rules really apply all the time, because you hear people that have a low credit score and then they get $25,000 on the credit limits and things like that. And somebody had just put a comment where they had over an 800 credit score, and I want to say that applied for the More Rewards American Express, and they got like $1,000. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like sometimes you really don't know what you're gonna get, but the interest rate probably is where it will impact you. But jump down in the comments and let me know, is interest rate really important to you? You know, some people, they'll state, well, as long as I can get the loan, maybe they don't really care about the interest rate. But for me, the interest rate was the most important. The next question was around, once I had got approved for the auto loan, how did it impact my credit score? How many points did I lose? Now, this was back in 2020, October 2020, but I'm not for sure. But I remember when I had made the video in 2020, I did get that question. And I would say that I really didn't see like a big increase, but what I can say, or decrease, but what I can say is that when your credit score is made up of 5 components, so you have your credit utilization, your payment history, your new credit, your credit length, and your credit mix. And so your new credit is 10% of your credit score. So most of the time it's gonna be maybe about an 8.5 point decrease possibly in your credit score. That's not gonna be a whole lot. I mean, if your credit score is high, but I guess if your credit score is low, then it can impact you. But I would say your payment history and your credit utilization, like that's where it really hurts, because your payment history is 35% of your credit score and your credit utilization is 30%. So I would say those are the things that can really impact it compared to, applying for new credit. But you always want to make sure that you don't have a lot of inquiries on your credit report, because it can impact you to maybe you don't get approved. Maybe I would say more so for credit cards than an auto loan. But just take into consideration, because I would say anything over 4 inquiries is probably gonna make your credit score go down. But anything less than about 4, I don't know that it's gonna really impact it too much. The 2 next questions that I'm gonna answer is around the actual check that you get from Navy Federal. And the first question was, did I get a blank check, and did the dealership write on the check, or did Navy Federal? And so the answer is I did get a blank check from Navy Federal. So I did everything by calling Navy Federal on the phone, and they asked me, did I want to come pick up the check, or did I want them to mail it to me? So they mailed it to me certified mail, and it probably took like 2 days. I got the check, and it was a blank check, and it says that you have, I want to say mine had 60 days, but they say you have 90 days to be able to use the check. And it was a blank check, and it has all of the information on there. So when you actually take the check to the dealership, they know exactly what to do. And the next question was, when you actually go to the dealership, when should you let the dealership know that you actually have a check? And for me, it wasn't until after I had actually test drove a car or 2, and then when we were going back in to get some numbers, the dealer, he asked me, was I gonna finance it? And I said no, I actually have a check. And that was it. They didn't pressure me too much. Now I know in some of the other videos where I was talking about this, some people have said that maybe the dealership might kind of press you to actually finance through them. And of course the dealership wants you to finance through them, because they might say that they might be able to get you some more deals. And they actually said that once I was negotiating, because I did a trade-in, and then they had gave me some deals, but maybe they could have gave me some more deals. But I said, I have the check. And I would say I would still go through the Navy Federal financing, because like I said, I don't think that with me having a 681 credit score, even if they would have been able to get me maybe lowered, what if they were able to get it lowered maybe even $3,000? They probably would have gave me a higher interest rate, and so they're just gonna add it on that. So I would say with actually being able to get a lower interest rate, and then plus I knew how much I wanted my car to be, do it that way opposed to doing it through the dealership. So don't let them talk you into financing through them. If you have a check with Navy Federal, that's what I say. But everybody does what's good for them. And another question that I get around the Navy Federal check is, so I was approved for $20,000, and the check actually, even though my loan was for $20,299, the check was only for $20,000, because the $299 was for the gap insurance. And so the question was, if the car was over my check amount, could I pay cash for the remaining at the dealership? And the answer is yes. You can pay with cash or your credit card if you want, but you can also call Navy Federal up and you can tell them that the car is more than what your check was. Now, I think you might have to go through a little bit more of an approval to get the check for the extended, especially if it's a couple thousand more. But I didn't do that because I knew exactly how much I wanted. Y'all have to check out that video where I was talking about it, because I wanted my car to be $20,000 on the dot. But from the question, you can pay cash or credit card for the remaining balance if you want to. Now, I would say overall, most definitely, I love the process. It was an easy process. I called them on the phone. I was approved within like 10 hours or 12 hours, probably not even that long. They mailed me a check within 2 days. Then I, test drove. But I would say my thing is really what you do on the front end, even before you call them to do the pre-approved process, because some of the questions that they're gonna ask you during the pre-approved process is, 1, how much do you want your car for? 2, how many months do you want your car for? 3, are you gonna have a cosigner? Do you want gap insurance? Are you gonna get a new or used car? Or do you want, let me see. Those are the main ones. I can't think of any more right now. So those are really the things that you have to think about before. And so I would say get the Loan You Later app so that you can find out, okay, like for me, I knew that the car that I had before, my car note was about $57 or $67. And so this time I knew that I wanted to kind of upgrade myself a little bit, but I said I didn't want my note to be over $350 since I was paying actually $260 on the last one. So I said I didn't want to go over $350. And so I went on to the Loan You Later app and I was playing around with the numbers. Now, see, at first, I did not quite know how much my interest rate was going to be. So you kind of have to play around with that a little bit. And then once you call and you get pre-approved or you get approved, then you can put in what your interest rate is going to be. So I was approved for $20,000 and at 2.19%. Then it let me know. And then, see, the good thing about it is, even if you go on the Navy Federal site, they have all these calculators and things, because it really depends on what's more important to you. Do you want to get a lower note? So see, I knew that I wanted to get the 60 months. Now I could have went up to, they have it up to like 96 or 84 months. But see, the interest rate would have been like 5.68%, I think. But I really wanted my interest rate or my loan to be a little bit, I really wanted it at 60 months. So that's where I stuck. But you drop down in the comments and let me know, would you have went higher months? Does it really matter to you? But you'll definitely have to go onto the Navy Federal site, because they have so many tools. And then try the Loan You Later app, because that really helps you. But before you even start the process, really kind of figure out, are you going to have a cosigner? What is your income, your annual income? Are you renting? Are you owning? Those are the type of questions that they're going to ask you. Do you want a new or used car? Now, I actually said, I don't think I said that I was going to get a new car, but when I had went looking, I ended up getting a new car. And so, but I'm telling you, the process is so easy. And another question that I typically get is, after you have went to the dealership, you have your car, because really the dealership is going to do everything and you don't even have to do anything after that. And then maybe a couple days after, you're going to either get an email or you're going to get some kind of notification through the app. And then that's where you're going to finish all the information so that you can sign your promissory note. And that's how I did it. They didn't call me. They just sent me that notification and I finished everything on the app. So it was so easy. The process is really easy, but always remember, if you have questions, always call them up. Navy Federal has really good customer service and they're usually so helpful to answer all of your questions. But I'm telling you, the process is really easy. And if you have any additional questions that maybe it was something that I didn't answer, never hesitate to drop a comment and ask me whatever your questions are, because I always try to make sure, even if you're making a comment or you have a question, I usually try to acknowledge, that you have made a comment, because I really appreciate all the comments and likes, and you just watching the video, so I try to acknowledge everybody. But I hope that this video has been helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on. We got some good content coming up, and I thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.